Sure, don't change.
And we have speed.
All right.
Hold on.
Move. That is fine. Okay. We'll begin with Jimmy Dugan. Was there really a Jimmy Dugan?
The actual guy, one of the actual men, was a guy named Jimmy Fox. He was a home run legend for a while, and essentially, I guess, drank himself out of baseball in time and found himself here doing this thing. Yeah, he hit a zillion home runs in the 1930s. Ended up towards the end of his career bouncing around from team to team. But yeah, there was a Jimmy Fox, not a Jimmy Dugan, but a Jimmy Fox.
So based loosely on the life of Jimmy Fox, then.
Well, actually, any similarities between any people living or dead is purely coincidental.
I read that at the end of the movie.
This is a fictitious thing and blah, blah, blah.
You're right. All right. Let's try it out for it. You were saying, wow, this would be a great part to have because... Why?
Oh, well, you know, it would be great, actually, selfishly, it would be a great part to have because I only have 3 wardrobe changes. I'll never have to shave. And that's what I'll have to do is sit around and play baseball all day long. I'll be there.
With girls?
Sign me up. Well, yeah, sure. That's you know, men's fantasy summer camp kind of thing to it.
And working with Penny Marshall again.
Oh, that was no small element.
You seem to get along very well with her, and she with you.
Yeah, I think so. I think I understand Penny, and I think Penny can say anything she needs to say to me, and she knows when I get cranky, and I know when she gets cranky. Actually, I should say I know when she's not cranky, because that happens much less frequently than the
I
other.
see. Okay. Let's talk about baseball itself. First off, I didn't know there was a women's baseball league.
Nor did I.
Really? What happened? How did we miss this part of sports history?
I don't know. I just think that it came about during wartime, and so it was kind of looked at as an anomaly, but then it hung in there for, if not 10 years, you tell me, didn't it? Over 10 years?
11 years.
11 years. So, who knows how it was just, and it happened before television, so, of course, which is ancient history. So,
was there
it was
such a
kind of
time?
forgotten. Yeah, you can imagine. No videotape of the
What would you say, every movie has, well, it doesn't have to have a moral, but I think this one has a message to it. And the message would be that these were women that were supposed to be, at that time.
Let them play.
But they were supposed to be in the kitchen. All of a sudden you take them, they can play ball. And by gosh, they did a good job.
If you can let them play. That's the message, I guess.
Yeah. Do you think this will change things? Would there be another...
You know, I think the world will be different now because of League of Their Own. I think all the differences between sex and politics now can be completely ironed out, and the whole Murphy-Brown thing is all going to be taken care of. And you know, women are now. No, I don't think anything will change at all. But no, not a thing.
It's just a part of history.
It's funny because I think Penny was actually trying to change the world as we know it with the making of A League of Their Own.
Well, I saw that in there. I was reading that. Okay, we have talked about Evansville. You shot many of the scenes in Evansville, Indiana. Tell me, first off, your thoughts on Evansville.
I was looking forward to the experience of working full-time in a place I'd never been. I drove through Indiana once. I'd never been to Evansville, and it was a lovely, lovely part of the country, nice town. I lived in a beautiful little, I had 5 kind of like acreage on a kind of farm-like setting. The cornfield behind me, I saw beautiful sunsets. My entire family learned how to row a boat and fish on a lake, and it was actually a very pleasant experience. My family still talks about it. So, well, it won't be a summer like we had in Evansville, will it, Dad? So, no. I'll do my best, but not.
So you took the whole family with you then?
Oh yeah, I had everybody there. It was a full boat.
There was this thing with Madonna that she said something about Evansville. Did you have any inclination that anything else was going on other than making a movie, that she was not having a good time there, or was this just a publicity stunt?
I don't think anybody should be surprised that Madonna did not find her days filled with absolute excitement when she was in Evansville, Indiana. What a shock to find out that Madonna might have been a little bored being in Evansville. I don't think it was a publicity stunt. I think that maybe she actually wasn't all that thrilled to be there for as long as she was.
Yeah, but the rest of the cast, this was not running rampant in the cast.
No, well, you know, it's a small town. It's not what a lot of people are used to. And I was lucky because I had my family there who you know, always fill up your days, even when you don't want them to. And and on those days they can stack up in a row where you don't have that much to do. Well, I mean, you can only play pee-wee golf and go to the movies quite so much. You can go out canoeing on the lake. You can go to the caverns if you want to. You can, take horseback riding. Eventually, it's a small town. You might run out of things to do if you'd really rather be working, but no one should be surprised.
But for you, a good experience.
Oh, I had a delightful time.
And a good movie, too.
Well,
very good. Would you do another athletic movie after this? You need a little rest,
I'll
maybe.
be happy to do it.
You would?
Oh,
Really?
you bet, sure. Yeah, I'd love to. Action, I love that.
Okay.
And, I don't think I was very athletic in this movie. I essentially sat on the steps, and that's as athletic as I got.
Well, you did it very well.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and we'll talk to the next.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, no, I'm not. That's not good. All right. Okay. We're talking just before we went on here that this is something that a lot of people have not heard about, and you were saying that you'd never heard about it until you saw a documentary.
Right. I saw a documentary called A League of Their Own about the reunion these women had, and it had old footage of them playing ball, and I was just fascinated by it. And I figure if I don't know about it, there are a lot of people who don't know about it.
Right. So then your next step was to do what?
To call in Laurel Gans and Bob Lou Mandel, who I worked with Laurel on Laverne and Shirley. And I had never developed anything, so I figured I'd better bring people in who know me so I could be a fool in front of them. So what do I do now? Do I call you or do you call me? And so in 3 weeks, you call and say, is it ready? And then we'll come in. Okay. Oh. So I could make mistakes in front of them, and they were cool.
Yeah, because you were director and executive producer of this one, so you really had to do. You have a lot of responsibility on this movie, don't you?
I don't know, do I? I guess so.
But you should be happy with the final product.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
You're one of those who's.
Yeah, I'm not so.
You're going to wait till the last minute. Yeah.
I still have some changes I'd like to make, but.
Oh, really?
I could have my hands.
See, and I thought something else that was very good is a movie like this. It really moved. The editing was wonderful too.
Editing was a nightmare. The editing and post-production staff did an amazing job.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of footage shot. Because, not each hit goes in the right direction. They didn't catch it each time.
Oh,
so
no.
there's thousands, millions of feet of film to get one piece. And because of the crowds, there was a lot of looping done. The ADR department alone, when you re-loop.
Yeah, oh, sure.
Because they had to balance out the crowd noise.
Oh, my heavens. Now, see, these are things that nobody will know because they'll go and enjoy the movie and say,
they think that all the crowd is even, but each shot, each angle had a different amount of crowd.
Right. Speaking of crowds, you spent some time in Evansville, Indiana.
Oh, yes, I did.
Did you get to select the sites? And did you pick Evansville as one of the sites to go?
Well, they started prepping this a while ago, and Evansville has Bosse Field, which is one of the oldest stadiums that exists. We built the stadium, the Rockford Stadium, in Huntingburg. There was a little field there, and we had expanded it. We built that and left it there for the townspeople so they could have a thing. And Bosse Field we used because it was of that period.
Yeah. So how was Evansville to you?
Evansville was great.
Good.
Great. I had a good time. I shopped like crazy. The best antiques around there, New Harmony. I suggest everyone go to New Harmony and buy things. I'd say, how long is it going to take to set this shot up? 3 hours. I'll be back. Go off in a van and go buy some antiques.
Now, did people know who you are? I mean, did they know, or did they pretty much?
They knew we were in town.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that. I remember that. But I mean,
they were real
kind to
sweet.
you?
They had on like gas stations, Laverne, we have milk and Pepsi. They had all these things going. Hi, Geena, we love you. And thanks, Columbia Pictures for friends, because we shot in St. Phillips and all over southern Illinois, Chicago, outside of Chicago, southern Illinois, Kentucky, Henderson, Kentucky. And Evansville, in and around Evansville.
Now, just quickly, they're having their big premiere, I guess, in a couple of days. Nobody will be able to go from the movie, will
No,
they?
but there are a lot of locals. Stillwell is from Evansville. Most of the little kids were from Evansville, 2 little boys, and then the Dottie, the opera singer, a lot of the umpires, a lot of the ball players on Racine, Kenosha, and South Bend.
Yeah. So you found a lot of talent in Evansville.
Yeah, because we read a lot of people.
Yeah.
And they were great. I've never been in front of cameras before, and they did a terrific job.
Isn't that amazing how some people pick that up? I mean, it's just, we see so much movies and so much TV that sometimes kids especially just know what to do because they've seen so much as far as they're TV savvy and movie savvy.
So Stillwell will be the star of the Evansville premiere.
That's terrific. Okay, what are you going to do next? How do you top this? Let me ask you that.
Oh, I haven't even thought about it.
No.
I go to sleep after this for a while and then get back in touch with it. I mean, I've been living in 1943 now for a while. never quite have lived in the present. Doing things that don't take place in the present.
Something else you must be proud of. I don't want to forget that. You've got your daughter.
My daughter,
Is
Betty
Lily?
Spaghetti.
And your brother.
My brother and my niece was one of the backup peaches, and my other niece was a PA. My other niece worked in editing, and I'm going to be a grandmother in September.
I noticed that.
Did you see Tracy last
night? Yes.
Big.
Oh my head. So did they take direction from mom or from sister? Did they?
Yeah, well, they both. Well, I've worked with both of them before.
That's terrific.
I like to have my family around as much as possible.
That doesn't make you nervous. It makes you feel
It
comfortable.
makes me nervous, but it's also secure that, I mean, I was going to be gone for so long. I like to have as many people. That's why Tom is someone I've worked with before. John Lovitz I've worked with 3 times. I like to have people around. I mean, even Eddie Mecca, who dances with Madonna. David Landa, who came in and did, the announcer for me. I like to work with people I've worked with before, because then I know how to, it's faster for me.
Yeah, well, you bring out the best in them.
Oh,
really, it was very entertaining.
No, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks. And it was great last night to see. You're so athletic.
Yeah.
I know, I surprised myself. Okay, let's start off with being athletic. You can't fake your way through a movie like this.
Right.
You have to be, at the least, limber.
Right, right.
At the most, a good ball player. What did you bring to the movie before shooting? You knew how to play ball beforehand?
No, I didn't.
No.
I
Wow.
learned for the movie, and it was difficult. But I'm sort of athletic and whatever. But it's very fun to see the movie now, the baseball scenes, and realize that you can see it's us, and
Oh, yeah.
and there's not a lot of faking going on. My character hits home runs every time I'm up to the plate, so somebody's throwing the ball over the fence. But it's us doing it, and I
Really do the splits when you caught that ball?
Yeah.
Ooh, that was pretty painful, but very, you did it very daintily for very nicely done.
Thanks.
When you heard about the movie, first off, you weren't the first one to be. It was going to be Deborah Winger
Right.
at one point. Then that happened. Then you get it. Now I can't imagine anybody else in the role. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
When they
Yeah.
said, "Do you want to do this?" you said yes right away.
I said, wow, when? What? Because I was set to do a movie in the fall, Hero, that I did, and I had like 4 months off, and I thought, I got the summer off, I'm going to relax, it was great, and then they said, can you come like tomorrow to Chicago and start this movie? Well, okay, well, what do I play? What is it? Okay, yeah.
So not a lot of preparation time
No.
to get into it.
I just got there and started learning right
Maybe
away.
that's good though. Get that.
I think so. It's the first time I've really done that, and I probably put too much thought into picking parts and really analyze every aspect of it. And it was just a time I had to say, make a snap decision and go for it.
I asked too, what did you think about trying out for it or getting the part? Because I had never heard of this particular error in sports history.
Right.
I was kind of shocked. Had you ever heard of professional women's baseball?
I hadn't, and so many people haven't heard about it. So I think that's great now that we're making this movie and people will hear about it because they're so fabulous. They were just incredibly inspiring and talented athletes that played great ball. And so I love that we're bringing their story to life.
And a lot of them are still around to enjoy it.
Yes.
Which is
I heard
pretty...
they saw the movie last night.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So that's wonderful.
Yeah,
That
as long
really
as they
is
like it,
fantastic.
I'm happy. Yeah.
This is one of those movies that when you look at the script, you go, gee, it's a little wacky. I wonder if it'll work. But would you describe it as a comedy or a drama, or I think it's a little bit of both.
Right, yeah, it's a comedy, but it has certainly dramatic elements in it, which is kind of my favorite type of movie when you can blend both. That's my favorite.
Well, it does
Everything.
you blend it very well in
Thank
this
you.
one. Now, you have to tell me a little bit about Evansville. I
Yes.
know that you spent some time there.
Yes.
So your thoughts, Geena, on Evansville?
Well, I loved it. We were very well treated by the people of Evansville. They were very sweet and seemed happy that we were there, and a lot of people had big signs in their front yard that said, welcome, the League of Their Own, and so when you were driving to work, you'd see these. It was sweet, or like the burger joint would say, our burgers are in a league of their own, or something. The church said one Sunday, it said, Jesus is in a league of his own. It was very funny.
So it carried it all the way through
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
So you
I think
had a good time. Did you talk to some of the people there? I mean, did you get a chance to go out and see actually
Yeah.
Hoosiers?
Yes.
That's what we are.
Yes, went to the movies all the time, went to restaurants, Wolf's Barbecue and House of Como and all kinds of restaurants, and we had a great time. They were sweet, and a lot of the townspeople were there being extras all the time.
Oh, I know about that. There was, of course, this thing that Madonna said she didn't have a great time in Evansville, but what I'm hearing from everybody else is everybody else seemed to have a pretty good time there and had something to do.
Yeah, but when you think about it, Madonna in Evansville, it's like, it's so incongruous. It doesn't make any sense.
So it's to be expected.
Yeah,
right?
so.
Very good. Very good.
Oh, but I wanted to tell the people of Evansville,
yeah.
too, that I heard later that Prague, because she said Evansville's like Prague. Prague is actually like one of the cultural fabulous cities of Europe, that it's actually a fabulous city, so maybe she meant it as a compliment.
Well, there is now Prague-Evansville Day. There are sister cities now.
No.
See, Madonna's done this wonderful thing. She's brought this culture together.
I love it.
That's great. That's great. What are you going to be working on next? Do you know?
I finished a movie called Hero with Dustin Hoffman and Andy Garcia a few weeks ago.
Wow.
And I don't know what I'm doing next exactly.
But you're pleased where your career is going?
Oh, yeah, very happy.
God, you've done so much. It's like every time you turn on the movies, now you go to the movies, there you are, in a different role.
Right.
A little different.
Yeah, I like to challenge myself.
Well, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was great.
Good.
You're very athletic. And you're so pretty with long limbs. It's so nice to see you.
Got a good reach for the
You do?
tattoo, yeah.
Thank you, Geena.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And look at you with these long...